truth is the consensus of opinion. This is very true. My teacher Jeremy once taught me that truth is just a subjective opinion. It's a very good rule to live by. Truth is non-existent. Let that sink in for a while. As we wake up, I introduce myself as the Super Blue Badger and I welcome you to the final part of Penumbra Requiem. Doesn't seem like the final part, does it? It's very anticlimactic as you look around, find that there's nothing but a warehouse storeroom as we've been in many times before. Makes you really wonder what we should be doing at all. That this is the end? Really, what could this come to? What could this mean? Because I simply just haven't figured out any answer to this at all, really. And you really have to have the worst luck to fall into a room full of electricity-fried water. Can water be fried? That's a very good question, actually. Can water be fried? Tell me the answer sometime. And as you might imagine, the computer is dead, and we cannot get that key item right now as the room is electrified, so we might as well just move on and figure a way out of, well, being electrocuted, simply. I may not be cracking with the joke so much today, but I need to take this seriously. Oh, fuse box. You have to take this out to unelectrify the water. Just switch it into the middle for this room. And as you'll see, that the power comes back on. But yes, the game hasn't given me much opportunity to take it seriously yet, so I'm just going to be a good badger and I'm going to force myself into a serious tone to try and understand and make sense of what they were thinking when they made this game.
There are 2 keys remaining.
That's good, thanks. Regardless of that, I just need to mention that as much as I try to defend this game, and as much as I enjoy the fact that there are no monsters and this is simply a twist of the mind, you know, a little bit of mental frustration, a little bit of arm wrestling with the cranium. I guess the cranium is the right word to be using in this context. But really, I'm trying to take this game seriously, but I really, really cannot. It's not a bad game. It's an average game. And it's only an expansion upon the Black Plague, so should I, you know, pencil in the awesomeness that was Black Plague into this? I really have no idea, because this is not a standalone game, as I mentioned in the beginning of Penumbra Requiem. And this water is electrified, well fuck. And this is empty. Faderade. And I tried to look at that word above it. It looks like Dr. Posts or Dr. Porks. I actually cannot tell. And so we enter into the room that we started out in to collect some boxes to help us traverse this electrified water. But yes, I know, viewer, it's actually a massive pain in the ass that there are no monsters. There is no real suspense. There really is nothing to really tax your brain on. And as much as I enjoy it for being a change of pace, you know, a new idea, something different, it's really struggling to get a good opinion out of me. And I'm the kind of guy that's happy with everything. I am really a hard guy to disappoint. I like every movie that I see. I have rarely ever said that this is a bad film. There was one, and I said this is a bad film. It's probably Transformers, the modern movie of Transformers, the live-action version, not the animated cartoon ones. No, God no, those were awesome. But the live animated action were just awful. It's all just blurs of 3D textures flumbling about while some humans go, oh my god, giant robots! And as you can see around here, we've got a very steep drop. One might think once you enter this room that you should try and traverse the iron beams with very precise platforming, which I have practiced many, many times before. You have to be very careful trying to traverse these ledges. You know, have a look, but there's really nothing you can do. The gap between the second and third pylons here is just too great, as you can see, if you compare the first one to the second jump. But we're going to try it anyway. Goodbye, cruel world. Oh. Yes, about that. I can't even explain that, so I'll leave that to sink into your minds for a while. Let it bake into a crispy golden brown until you figure out the answer for why we just magically teleported. Okay, more ventilation shafts, goody. This seems very reminiscent of Black Plague, doesn't it? Cards. We need to take these over to the machine over here, in which there is no way that you could ever know how to slot them in. So you basically have to slot them in until the red light turns on. And at this point, I try to figure out... I totally just threw that and slotted it. These are like fucking ninja stars. Ah. Almost like ninja stars. Ah, damn it. I missed. But basically, you can turn this very boring puzzle into an amazing game of darts. If you use Blue Badger ingenuity, that is. Oh, damn it. Philip has to have some mad athletics, yo. But I literally just go back and I try this out, because this is actually quite fun. Sorta. I do cheat a little bit, because it actually is harder than it looks. The first 2 times was a fluke. Try to rotate it, try and, you know, get a more direct path. But yes, when you look at the puzzle, it actually says Philip thinks that we should wait till we find some instructions, but do not listen to him because he is a moron. And there are no instructions anywhere in this level, you just have to guess. Yes, this isn't really a brain teaser, it's slap at it with your hands until you get it right. Puzzle, I guess. I guess it still clarifies as a puzzle. Come on, for great justice. Can I do this? Blue Badger up at the last pace, and he misses! Ah, the crowd goes, ah. Right, power seems to have been restored to this part of the base. Fantastic. I don't know what that had to do with power. And that light... why was that light on if there was no power to this side of the base? We'll have to answer those another time. And this box looks very reminiscent of the one that Clarence scared us with. If you might remember that. And this is what was blocking the door. And in here we've got nothing. It's marked nitroglycerin. I probably shouldn't chuck this around. Better be careful. For those of the lesser English-speaking audience, nitroglycerin, I'm not sure if it's the same word in other languages, is a very highly volatile chemical, and if you just jostle it around, jive, spin, tip, chuck, do whatever, literally look at this thing the wrong way, and it will cause a massive explosion and blow half your face off. We'll probably be needing this. It's actually very reminiscent of Overture, actually, when we made the highly volatile chemical to free red with, for those that remember. And now that the power is on, we can click this... Oh, we need power first. And the door's shut behind us for whatever reason. And it's very easy to miss these little pylons. I checked to make sure that the door doesn't lock or something. But yes, it's very easy to miss these pylons because they blend in very well with the pillars. But success, we have moved the tunnel, I guess. And there's really nothing to find in here. There's nothing of note, nothing of interest. Everything is broken. You know, these tunnels are actually reminiscent of the mining shafts of Overture as well. It's quite strange. Funny that, eh? But yes, also jumping too much with this container will also, well, basically make it explode and blow you half your face off. For those wondering about nitroglycerin, some also use it to cool their computers under dire circumstances when they have 16 GPUs. GPU standing for graphical processor units, I believe. I'm very tired right now, don't listen to me. Regardless of this, if you want to know more about electronics and hardware, I'm your man. Because Blue Badgers are well versed in computer science, I must tell you. I'm really, really trying hard, guys. I'm really trying to take this game seriously.
One key remaining.
That's great, bitch.
One key remaining.
Misogyny is hilarious. But no, really, I'm trying. But what is there to take this game this expansion, seriously about? It has been nothing but a contrived jumble of levels connected by portals. And I still believe that this game was inspiration for Portal in a way. But that might just be a long shot, I really can't answer that. Oh, tipped it just a little bit by accident, be careful with that. Let's just rotate this the right way before putting it down. I'm not sure what is falling through the roof there, bit of clipping issue. Just put it down gently. What is this? This van looks very reminiscent of Overture, actually. And if you can remember where it is, your memory is actually a little bit better than mine. And this crumbled-in caveway is actually very reminiscent of Overture. Funny that, eh? This tunnel, this cave, and I know this place. What's happening to me? Philip asks in a Dire Straits voice. Well, what's happening to you is that you're putting down the nitroglycerin to clear this cave-in. But we're going to need something to lengthen ourselves from the explosion. I will explain how I went about it the first time after I... This is the most unbendy rope. God damn it. What is this rope made out of? Iron? There we go. Regardless, you stick one end on top of it, but because of the way the rope is bugged out, I cannot actually get the other end into the pit of oil. So I try to realign it a couple of times, but really, what is wrong with this rope? You think you could have made much more realistic rope for texture? Well, would it be a texture? No, it wouldn't be a texture. You think you could make much more accurate rope physics? I guess it's physics. Instead, I decided just to use the other end of the rope, which actually turns out to be a major success. Somewhat. It takes a little bit of jostling around, but in the end we finally get the end of the rope to reach the oil. In my previous attempt, I actually tried to roll the barrel of nitroglycerin through the fire and into the caveway. But instead, the actual way you're supposed to do it is to set the rope on fire and use it as a fuse to blow up the nitroglycerin. Funny that, hey? And so we walk into the depths.
Congratulations, dear boy. You arrived. You will find your escape now. Your friend is well chosen. Insanity, after all, is rare in individuals. Only in humanity as a whole is it the rule. Nietzsche. I will remain here.
Oh God, no.
This half-place continues to be the only challenge to my knowledge. May you enjoy your fate, Philip. What is left of it.
So, for those that have watched Penumbra Overture with the Super Blue Badger, you will remember that this is the incinerator room. And this is Red's room. The room that Red was forced to spend an eternity of his life here. And he tried very hard to kill himself over and over and over, and the Turnguide just wouldn't let him. And finally a comment about how a mattress stinks. My God, Philip, you finally regained your senses, and it's not a bad idea. Let's just lie here and give up. This is the end of Penumbra Requiem. Fuck it, my testicle sense is tingling. There it is.
Level exit open. Level exit open.
For those that didn't see Penumbra Overture, this is one of the rooms that Red stayed in. And you can see just how mad the man was. And this is his toilet. I threw a stick of dynamite down here once, that was quite strange. That's his lunch. And the noose is gone from the bar, which is rather bizarre. But yes, there's nothing left to do here. There's no note to read anymore. And it's also very familiar. But to be honest, it's actually quite fitting that we come here, for this exact location right here where I stand now is where I ended Overture. So, let us hearken forth into the depths of hell. Into one very familiar room.
Like the Eminis, I too am versed in poetry of the mind. And I am well chosen indeed, for there is some madness in my love and some reason in my madness. Yet I cannot help but feel unprepared. The banquet is only half-baked, the rats are only but partially squeezed, and you find me once more within this metal burning chamber. But the chamber, like the banquet, is of the mind. The only way out of it is within it. I have knocked on death's door many times before, but the both of us will this time be taking tea. It is only through pain that we know we are alive, and this time, my friend, the pain must end. Would you return to the world from which you came, drown in the chitter-chatter? For Red's answer is no. Better to have a story and end it, than never to realize it has begun.
And so that is Red's final message to us. And from here we have two choices. We start the incinerator or leave this room, but we cannot leave this room because for some reason the game will not allow me to. Even though there are multiple sources saying that you do not need all the artifacts to leave the room. Apparently. I don't know why, but it just won't let us out. We can't get the technically good ending. So we must take the other route. And as you can see, this says enter rather than incinerate.
Thank you, my friend. This is going to hurt.
And in a baptism by fire, Philip Lefresque died that day. It's been the end of a road of a long journey, my friends, for the Frictional Games works of Penumbra has finally come to a close. I started this LP with Overture back in the mid of November 2010, and it's good to see that the book is finally closed. I'm playing up the drama like a very dramatic badger that I am. And this is quite depressing because it feels like really has been the end of a long journey. I started Overture with the hopes of understanding what it is to be a Let's Player. And I'm still on that journey even today. And I still continue on throughout the depths of these credits. And I talk in a very dramatic voice while trying to take this game very seriously, but it really didn't have that much to it. For all of his stupidity, Philip really didn't deserve to die, if you ask me. Stupidity, yes, the only cure may just be death, but I do not agree with this. We all deserve a shot at something, right? No matter how much we try, no matter how much we beg, sometimes fate just concurs that it's time to go. We can fight against fate. It is there. We can believe it doesn't exist and that we have control over everything. But just know that something is looming over your shoulder, something that you cannot control, and it may not be fate. But it may be something very different. Something very ugly. And with that, I end Penumbra Requiem. Good night, everyone. Statistics. Completion time 1 hour, 38 minutes, 20 seconds, 4 out of 9 collectibles. Adios, my friends. Let's close the curtains.